Take 38 minutes to start 71C English. Alright guys, let's go over this now. Who wants to do number one? Venkat.
I got B, that's parallelism.
Okay. This one, did anyone else get a different answer?
I got D.
How did you get D?
Because
Okay, so B is the right answer choice for this one, and the reason why is because in every other answer choice, it makes it look like the bucket is doing the action. So in this case, it's not the bucket that's pointing. It's actually the farmer who's pointing down the long road. So that's why it's going to be B. This one is just idiomatic language and rhetorical skills. All right, number two. Who wants to do this? Lauren, number two. F. Okay, well, how? What keyword in this question tells us are we even looking for?
it's like setting.
Good.
Yeah, setting.
That is the keyword we're looking for is setting.
And then this way, and like 2 rows over, it's like specifically saying where.
Mm-hmm. Good. So this one is talking about the. Every other one doesn't talk about the setting. F is the only correct answer because they want to know the setting.
How does H not talk about setting?
Those are talking about where they. This one is talking about rows over. This is specifically describing the setting of the farm. This one is describing Scuppernong's, and they're saying that it's not available at certain times of the year. That's not a setting. Setting tells us location and stuff. So by describing the place, basically, that's the definition of setting. Okay, 3. Who can do this? Kritika, number 3.
I said it was good.
Okay. Did anyone else get any different answer than that? Okay, Venkat, how'd you get D?
I wasn't sure, but I think it's because like, it's talking about all the great things.
Okay. So, no, that's not the right explanation. Kritika, what's the explanation for 3?
Basically, I cut out like the field had looked contained. The field had looked contained and orderly. I cut that out because it was in between 2 commas.
Just because it's in between 2 commas, that's a very subjective way to say it. If you say that that's not essential, that's not correct. That's a subjective answer. Because someone could say, no, that is essential to understand the passage. So how you do this is, from a distance, that we can automatically cross out because that's a prepositional phrase. From is a preposition. Okay, so if we cross that out, the field, this is my subject, okay? Bless you. Had is my verb. Had looked contained and orderly with its grapevines in row upon tidy row. Next one. They were all the same breadth and height and space the same distance apart. They is another subject. Were is another verb. So if we have 2 SVs, what is that called? Yeah, so these are 2 independent clauses. So from right here until right here is an IC. From here until down there is another IC. So if we have 2 ICs back to back, separated only with a comma, what is that? Comma splice, yes. So all 3 of these, A, B, and C, are all comma splices. Which one are we left with? D. The answer choice is D. Does that make sense? Now, for C, there's no verb after that. But what is this? What is C? Krishay, if you can't see all the back, you can come up here and sit, okay? Right next to Mamita. You good? Okay. So what exactly is C? What do we call that? With the good contraction. So what is this expanded contraction? They are. What is R? Verb. Okay, so that tells us, yes, we can take a verb from a contraction. So they is my subject, R is my verb in C. But regardless, the right answer choice is D. Okay, 4. Who can do this? Okay, so what are they testing here? They're testing transitions. So what do we think it should be? H. Okay, how did we get H?
It starts off
Perfect. That was a great explanation. From a distance, and then by saying up close, what is that? Contrast. Good. This shows us contrast. All right. 5. Who can do this one? I'm Mitesh, number 5.
I put A.
How so?
B, B, B and D like didn't make sense. Like chaos or enchantment.
I don't want to know it doesn't make sense. Yeah, I know it doesn't make sense because those are the incorrect answers. So why exactly doesn't it make sense though? Who wants to help him out? Rohit, help him out.
Well, I got B for this one.
Okay. And why'd you choose B?
I'm not sure.
Okay. So yeah. So what do you guys think they're testing here? Basically, we have enchanting right here. We have enchantingly, and enchantment. So what do you think? Take a good guess at what you think they're testing for. No, you have enchanting versus enchantingly. They're testing adverbs. Okay? So when I say chaotic, enchantingly so, this is the right answer. B is your right answer. Break the sentence down for me. Kyle, break the sentence down for me. What are we doing with adverbs? I want to know what my noun is, what my adjective is, and what is my adverb. For number 5, what is my noun, adjective, and adverb?
The scene.
Okay. The scene is a noun. What is my adjective?
Chaos and enchantment. Chaotic.
Good. Chaotic would be my adjective. Enchantingly is my adverb. What is chaotic modifying? The scene. What is enchantingly modifying? Chaotic, not chaos. Okay? Does that make sense? It's things modifying each other. It's like a sequence of things, basically. All right, next one. Always look at the answer choices and see what you think they're testing for. You want to? The computer sounds like it's about to like take off. Okay, let's close out some of this. All right, Sid, next one. What do we think of this?
So it says contrast, and the first sentence in the paragraph starts off with, it's like upon tidy row. So the only one that makes sense here would be at
Perfect. Okay. And where does it say that? It says it, row upon tidy row, right there. Oh, whoops. Right there, it says in a tidy row. By saying with contrast, by showing that it's dropped haphazardly, what is the definition of haphazardly? Yes, perfect. It's basically just throwing it carelessly. So, that's the only one that makes sense. It's F. Thank you. Do you have a question?
Yeah, for this one, could you just do after the passage, or could you just explain stuff?
Well, it says right here in this paragraph's first sentence.
No, because, like, aren't the other two, like, the same thing?
Well, with contrast, but what are we contrasting with? We don't even know. How we know is we have to go to the first sentence of this paragraph. It's got to be contrast with something.
They're not the same. They're not all the
Does that make sense, Venkat? What we're contrasting with is that it was in row upon tidy row. That's what we're showing contrast with, and F is the only one that does that. If you don't even read the first sentence, you don't know what you're contrasting with. All right, 7. What are we underlining here, Brianna?
We're learning the active specifically words.
Good, active one person.
And then B's the one that starts the active saying I stuck my arm, and then the other one's just
either describe a location or like parts of the farm or like irrelevant detail.
Good. All right, 8. What is it? Critical number 8.
I thought it was pretty.
Why?
Wait, that's one. Because it's in dashes, it's one. And so then, Superman's and Muscadines have grown by in the southeastern United States country.
Okay. So I don't like when you guys say that just because it's 2 commas, it's not essential. You saw in the previous question, it was 2 commas, but it was essential because that was independent clause. So how we're going to do it is, if there is no other if there is an independent clause somewhere else in the sentence, you can cross out what's in between the commas. If there isn't, you cannot because IC is within the 2 commas. The previous question, the IC was within 2 commas. So that does not make it non-essential. That is essential to make that sentence complete. In this case, we have an IC somewhere else. Where's my IC? It's before and after, so I can cross this out. What is my subject? Okay, some people said Scuppernong, some people said Scuppernong and Muscadines. What is it? It's both. Good. So what do we call this? It's a compound subject. So what is my verb now? Is growing a verb? What is it? What are ing verbs? They're gerunds. Okay. To grow. What is this? Infinitive. Have grown. Now that gives us a verb. What is my verb in that? No, not grown. Have. Good. So G is the only one that gives me a verb, and in order to be an IC, I need a subject, verb, and a complete thought. If I chose D, I would have taken out everything basically. I wouldn't even have grow. All right, 9. What do we think that this is testing? It, them, there. What? Sid. Good. But what do we think it's testing first of all? Good. What is them referring to? Good. And notice how they do them because there's, yep, it's plural. All right. 10. Actually, let's go back to 9. Mark that this one's a singular one. It, and then singular. Them is the only one that's plural. All right, 10. F, how'd you get F, think it?
It's the only one describing the lyrics. It's like the rest of the paragraph is.
Good. Yeah, this one was kind of an easy. Yeah, this was an easy one. F. All right. Let's go to the next page. So you guys got C. How'd you get C? Good. Yes, the other ones are redundant and wordy.
What does polarize it?
Colorize means to add color to, apparently. That's what I wrote. I guess it's a word. I wouldn't really know, but like, let's search it up right now. This is the stuff for these types of things to see if it's a word. You just gotta know. There's nothing you can study for to figure that out. Yes, colorize is a word which means adds color to. Okay, 12. What is this? Good. When you have 3 long answers and then 1 short answer, 95% of the time it's a short answer. But do not pick it just because it's a short answer. There will be questions you see where it's the longer answer that's right. In this case, why is it J? Yeah, we already know previously in the paragraph they grow in vineyards. We don't need to say that again. All right, 13. Why is it D? Brianna.
Well, it can't be what it is now, because the first part of the sentence is a dependent clause. So if you would add so, we would add both parts are independent. So you can only make the clause that way.
Good.
And then the only way to make this part an independent clause is getting rid of whether, if, or so. So that isn't.
Good. So the right answer is D. And what is my subject? Vineyard worker. Verb is can. And that gives me my independent clause. The reason this one is not, the first part is not an IC is because of the subordinator when. That's why that's a DC. So we are following the form of DC, comma, IC when we choose answer choice D. Okay, next one. 14. What do we test? What are they testing for? I have a comma in A, F. I have nothing in G. I have a semicolon in H. I have a colon in J. So we need to find our ICs for this one, basically. So who can do this one?
Is it after preposition?
I'm sorry, what?
After the preposition, right?
Yes, that tells us time.
So after filling my bucket,
Now what can we do with prepositional phrases?
that's
Cross them out. After filling out my bucket to the brim. That's out. Alright, Sid, finish off the question.
so I walked back to the shelter. Isn't I
Good. And then what's my subject and verb in that one?
I
Good. I is my subject, walked is my verb. Alright. Next one. What is it? Why is it a DC?
No, it's
It's not. So it's not an IC, right? So it's a DC. So we have what this is following is prep, comma, IC, comma, DC. And the right answer choice should be what?
but why isn't this something that we can
Because accumulating, we don't have a main verb there. The harvest, what? The harvest is there on the long wooden tables. The harvest was put, not the harvest accumulating. Accumulating is a gerund. It's not a main verb. So we are left with F as our answer choice. The easiest way to actually... Okay, if I cannot put a comma before 2. Because 2 is a preposition, we cannot put commas between the two things that a preposition is modifying. Alright, next one. After filling the bucket to the brim, I don't have an IC before both of these. That's how you answer this question. Because a semicolon does what? 2 ICs, good. And a colon, what's the one rule we need to check for the colon? IC before it. There's no IC before it, there's a prep before it. So, that's why we choose F. You can use process of elimination to figure this one out. 15. Spat, spitted, spit. What do you think they're testing here? Tense. Okay. So, whenever we have verb tense questions, what do? We look at the surrounding verbs. So who can find me some more verbs? Sift. Good. Some more?
Settle.
Settle. Okay. So, what do we think it should be?
Spat.
Spat. Good. Why? Perfect. Spit is not a word. What is C? Have spat. What tense is that? What tense? Past what? Krishay, what is it? Good. Past perfect. All right. Would have spit. What is that one? Is that is that even a word? No. Okay. I didn't even write that on mine. All right. Okay, and then that's it. A, you guys know it's past tense. Okay, 16. Remember first class I told you, never separate a person from their profession. Astronaut Sunita Williams. Should we have a comma between astronaut and Sunita? No, we should not. So F and G are automatically eliminated. H and J. What's the difference between H and J? What's that? Good. Sunita Williams is our subject. Left is our verb. We can never separate a subject and a verb with a comma or with anything. So that is why H is wrong. J is the right answer. Make sense? All right, 17. Automatically with this question, who can tell me which choices can be eliminated? Without even looking at the question, just answer choices. What? It's not B and C. A and what? No. A and C. Guys, come on. You guys basically gave me all the possible answer choices. A and C. Why can A and C automatically be eliminated without even looking at the question? What do a period and what does a semicolon do? They both separate ICs, so it cannot be any one of those. So A is out and C is out. We're left with B and D. That narrowed it down to now 50%. All right, so let's differentiate between B and D now. Who can do it? D is a run-on. How is D? Who can explain why D is a run-on? What is my... No, this is not a run-on. Who can explain why it's not a run-on? Brianna. Yes, what you guys are going off of is the correct version of this. But we're not using that. We're using what they gave us. Why isn't the previous part an IC? What's the subordinator? Yes. When. That is a subordinator. Okay, so when I have when U.S. astronaut left for her 6-month stay at International Space Station, December 2006, that's not an IC. So, what is my comma rule? You only add a comma when it's needed. What rule is this one for B? Manvita. Yes. DC, comma, IC. I need a comma there. All right, 18. How'd you get F? Yeah. The following phrase talks about many citizens of India. All right, 19. Okay, what's the key thing we need to underline in this one?
Not the only.
Good. Not the only astronaut. What does contributed mean? Yep, they added on helped out. That's why it's B. All right, 20. Lauren, number 20.
H.
Why did you get H?
It's 10.
So let's read this. Let's read this question. Remember, when we have add this one, we can eliminate. Williams was assigned to conduct maintenance on the ISS. Some needed to be performed outside the station. Okay, this one is a weird question. I would have maybe chose H as well, but why is it not H? Brandon. Good. Actually, yeah, that's perfect. I didn't even see that. Some needed to be, yep. So what is my subject in that one? Yes, verb. Good. So this one would be a comma splice. But more importantly, this is kind of intuitive when you read it. It's F because what is which? Not necessarily subordinate in this case. What type of pronoun? Which is a relative pronoun, and what is it referring to? Maintenance, yes. And that's what needed to be performed outside the station. When you say, yeah, that's basically it. When you say some of, G would also create a comma splice. Yes. What is my subject in some of it needed to be? What is my subject in that? It's not it. Why is it not it? Benket, why in if I said some of it needed to be performed, why is it needed to be performed, not my IC? No. Regardless of the passage, in some of it needed to be performed. Why is my subject not it? Krishay? No.
It's by definition.
Good. We can never. What is of? Of is a preposition. When you say of it, that is a prepositional phrase. You can't take your subject from a prepositional phrase. So what do? We cross it out. So, and how I would read it would be some needed to be performed outside the station, which is exactly the same as H. So G and H have the same error in them. They're both comma splices. Okay, 21. Who can do that? Why don't you tell me? Try it out. Oh, you mean for the previous one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My bad. I thought you wanted to answer 21. Okay. Sid, try 21 out.
Let's see.
Okay.
And I don't know why.
Okay. There's a lot going on in this sentence, right? So let's try to break it down.
Before you can get rid of before his space law
Good. Why?
and prepositional.
Perfect. That is a prepositional phrase. So where is that? Right here. So
Get rid of in December because that's prepositional.
yep, that is a prepositional phrase. In is a preposition. That is all a prepositional phrase. So all of that's going to go. So how I'm going to start the sentence off is Williams and her colleague. Is this is what's in the parentheses my IC? Is Bob my IC? No. So that means this is not essential. So Williams and her colleagues spent hours preparing for the environment of space. What is which? That is a subordinated but also relative pronoun, which was to be sleeping in an airlock, adjusting to the air pressure. So, why is it not? Once we have this, Williams and her colleagues spent hours preparing for the environment of space. Okay, so that's my IC, right? That right there is my IC, which was to be sleeping in an airlock to help them adjust the lack of pressure. What is they were? What does that do? They were sleeping in an airlock. What is that? That's another IC. Because they is what? My subject. Were is my verb. That's an IC. So when I have two ICs with the separated with a comma, what is that? Comma splice. This is a CS. That's a comma splice. All right. What is B? What's the right answer to this one? C. Okay. This one, you don't really need to go into like in-depth analysis. You just know, including sleeping in. This is basically, it's not necessarily in the positive, but it's just adding, and it's like explaining the previous part. That's all it's really doing. 22. Williams conducted 3 more additional spacewalks. Yes. Why? When I say yes, when I say 3 more or additional, I can say either one of those. I don't say both. Okay, so this is the most concise answer. All right, 23. Why is it D?
The sentence is talking about how each space walk is like 7 hours, and then sentence 5 like totals it all up.
Anyone get a different answer choice for this one?
That's
Okay. Okay, why'd you get C, Kritika?
The sentence three says before the first spacewalk, so it was telling me about what happened before, and then sentence four talks about after 3 months, and then so sentence two is talking about during their spacewalk.
Good. Okay, so basically sentence 3 is their training. Sentence 3 is their training. Sentence 2 is talking about one of their spacewalks. Sentence 4 is talking about 3 months after. So based off like time sequence, it needs to go after sentence 3. So that's why C is the right answer. Okay, 24. Who can do it? Amitesh, 24.
G.
Okay.
Having qualified for the spring marathon before where he did the dependent class,
Good.
and she decided to run the marathon with the independent class.
Good. So I have DC, comma, IC for G. H, I need my comma. I have to separate the DC and IC. I can't have that. J doesn't have a subject. F incorrectly uses a semicolon to separate a DC with an IC. When do we use a semicolon? IC, so can't use that. 25. D. Okay, they're testing verb tense here, and good. Which other word did you use? Perfect. Fastens, what indicates that it's parallelism? The word and. This is a word pair. Or this is a pair, not a word pair. Alright. 26. Rohit, do 26.
I got a J for this one.
Okay. Why'd you get J?
So like I think it said after returning to Earth, Williams accepted many professional invitations to share work, and then like right after it says at the 2007 International Astronomical Congress in India, and then like she got invited to that conference. So.
Good. So she was invited to many things to share her work. What is the next thing she's doing? Well, she's speaking about her work, what she did there, and the effect of spaceflight, basically. In this case, I would skip this question, read the end of till the end of the paragraph since it's so short, and then go and answer it. Because they're saying would lead the readers into the paragraph, so we know we need to read the paragraph first to figure out the answer to this question. 27. What's A effect with an A versus A effect with an E? What's the difference? Brianna.
A effect is a verb, E effect is
Good. Verb, noun. Affect means affect with an A means what the action you do. Effect with an E means the result basically. That's a crude way to answer the question, but you should really be looking for verbs and nouns. So, why is 27? What's the right answer for this? A. Yes. Krishay, why is it A? Good, yeah. Also, one thing you guys should notice, whenever you have the, these words A and the, what immediately follows it almost 100% of the time is a noun. I want an apple. What is my noun? It's apple, because it's followed by N, A-N. So that means effect, come right after it, is in fact a noun. All right, 28, I mean. This is testing pronouns. You can see just by looking at the answer choices, it's testing pronouns. So what do we need to do? We need to find what? Kyle, what do we need to find for pronouns? What is the noun that it replaces? What is that word? Lauren, what is it? Nope, but what is the noun that replaces a pronoun? Who can tell me what it is? Brianna. Yes, the antecedent. So whenever we have a pronoun question, first thing we need to do is find the antecedent. What is my antecedent? Due in part to one's research. So who is one trying to replace? Sunita. Yes. So Sunita is my antecedent. Which of these pronouns can be replaced with Sunita? Her. The answer choice is H. 29. I'm gonna stop you guys right here. I have no idea how to explain this question. Little to none. The right answer is what? B. Okay. The closest I can get for you guys is may be versus maybe. Who knows the difference between those two? Krishay. Good. Good. This, not necessarily, this is what we call a verb phrase. And then, yeah, verb phrase compared with an adverb. In this case, do, what also does maybe do? What's the definition of maybe? When, yeah, so it's evoking doubt, basically. That's really what it's doing. Maybe, on the other hand, is a verb phrase that's used to show like the progression of a sentence. So what do we think this one should be? Why do you think it's B? It's easy to answer this question. It's hard to explain it though. So who wants to try explaining it?
Why would it be or?
Yep, that can be taken out because we have a pair. So it's both men and women.
Then you can just use the maybe.
Yeah. So in this case, you're not modifying anything with the adverb. So you're gonna just stick with the verb phrase, which would give you B. But I'm gonna have Jason explain this question again for you guys because I think there's a better reasoning for this. 30. Why is it J?
It doesn't talk about like half the different questions. It's just about her while she's at ISS.
Yep, basically, all it talked about was her stay at the International Space Station. It never really talked about what she did to get there. Okay, you guys, it's getting boring, so you guys can take like 5 minutes and work with the people around you and annotate the next passage. Okay?
I just wanted to know, isn't it just like knowledge of the words?
Yes, did you not?
I'm marked by test, but give me
Kyle, we're 4 weeks into class, buddy. You know that we do that. Okay, fill in your Scantron right now. Do it after class. Fill in you're gonna
I fill in my Scantron, but I just.
Oh, you didn't write on your test. Okay, that's another thing. Keep your Scantron, then don't change any of those answer choices.
Do I ever have to do that?
Diagnostic?
Yes.
Okay, so whenever you guys miss classes now, I'm gonna get on top of this with the videos, but everyone's gonna have access to all the videos. It's your responsibility to know which date you missed and to watch the video for that corresponding class. I'm not gonna be on top of you guys and following up on you. Okay, there are too many kids to like know who's missing which date and what they're missing. So all the material, that's why I say when we start the video, I say basically what section we're working on. And then, so it's once you play the video, you'll hear what I say. And in this case, I said take 38 minutes to do 71C English. So you're going to take 38 minutes, you're going to do it, you're going to print out a copy of the Scantron, and you're going to email me a picture of the Scantron. Okay? Yeah, Kyle.
Wait, this is in the other book?
What's that?
This test is in the other book?
What other book? No, this is a official ACT test. This was
Wait, this is 2013. Did they change the ACT?
No. SAT. 2013 is not far back. It might seem like it's 4 years since nothing, so.
It's like when we have
Yeah, Dad. Dad, I'll come up in a few minutes, okay? Oh, yeah. Okay. So take a few minutes, work with the people around you. But as you're saying, you have to, you gotta like be on top of it, and you have to know what stuff you need to make up, okay? All the stuff is in the course folder, not folder. All the course files are in the folder, and the code is on the bottom left. So you can look up, you can print out basically the section you missed. You missed 70G.
So I just.
So just do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scantrons are available as well on the course folder. So what you do is you print out 4 Scantrons, you print out your practice test, you do it. Go in a quiet place, 4 hour, 3.5. If you skip out your break, it's like 3 hours, 10 minutes. And then send me a picture print, and I'll grade it within like a few minutes. What? Yes, you get a 10-minute break, which we give you that 10 minutes when you take it here as well. Like, I mean, if you want to stop, you can. I wouldn't. I would stop. And trust me, I would never know if you stopped for that. Yeah, what's up, Lauren?
Okay.
I can see.
Hey Arnold, what is it?
I go
It's 31.
Figure it out, buddy.
We all have different accents.
Okay. One sec.
31's D.
Okay, I'm definitely not gonna answer 31 for you guys.
Okay, so like how do we get the
Video. It's gonna be. It's gonna be on the website. I was supposed to email you, but it's literally like crashing every like other day. So it's not loving what. I'm gonna find some people who know more about computers. It's just changing.
No possession for all three.
What? With very stuff, yeah. No, for real, I have no idea how to do it. That's why I'm gonna ask someone else.
This is the only one that's
Yeah, but I had a lot of buddies in that class. A lot of buddies.
So what would you advise for AP
Actually, do work.
Bike share.
Spelling
So
does
it's like
actually work
explaining
for
it.
AP,
That's
calc,
what
physics, bio, stats. Count.
So I'm just saying.
This is the only class that actually worked. The rest, never. Don't ever work in concept principles, alright? I'll give you all this stuff. AP computer science is another story. That That's mine.
So like, what's the?
that's why.
Yeah, I know. What are you gonna write?
Guys, today we're most likely gonna end earlier on 8:30, okay?
That's early.
Isn't that what time?
Or 8. 8, yes. Okay? Because that's fine, you can hang out here. I'll put some TV on, you guys can watch it. I just don't want to be down here. It's cold.
Yeah. It's actually not school today.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's almost.
No, just kidding.
Okay, so what's the explanation? You have to write next to it. What are you writing?
It was 32. 38.
You guys eat?
Positive.
I don't know.
And ends with a
Yeah, but I
So
feel
how do you
like
start
there's
it?
some
I don't know.
I don't really know. It's kind of I switch there's one.
What?
I got GD.
Alright, do you guys finish?
With the whole passage.
You said entire time.
Does that count? No, just this passage.
Oh, you have a period.
You
got it wrong. You would.
I got
Brianna, you did really good on the English section on that test. No, last
Oh
one.
yeah, no, last one.
Last one, really
I
good.
peaked last time.
Hey, for guys who have been asking me about the curve and stuff, we make our we make the curves basically. Okay, we go off what the ACT does, but we also make our own curves based off the question types we feel were on the hard ones basically. And if we feel we taught them well, we're gonna give you guys a harsher curve. And also your Scantrons. If you guys ever want to see your Scantrons, text me. I'll send you pictures of them. Okay. And you can double check it. Sometimes you'll have bubbling errors. Like Crochet had like 2 questions that were misbubbled, or like it picks up like slight differences. So if you think you did a lot better than what your score is, ask me. We can double check it. Okay. Most of the time though, the score that's up there is right.
How many questions can you get right on the English? Because that's the largest one, right?
How many can you get right?
Yeah,
Or
or wrong.
wrong. One wrong is already
30,
35.
English?
Yeah.
Whoa.
But the English is the easiest section on the test. English and math. Actually, and science. They're all easy. Then it's reading what's hard. Those are the 3 you can really practice. Reading, it's like hard to practice getting faster at reading. That's something like if you were reading while you were a kid, it's gonna be easy for you. But if you weren't, like I never touched a book. Like we used to have these like reading point check-ins. I would read Magic Treehouse books just to get the points. Like, do you guys remember AR?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would read Magic Treehouse to get the points, and like I would just knock them out the hour before, and like I would never read. But like kids who read, they're fast at reading. But science, English, and math, you can all get better at easily, just by practicing. And math, you guys are all like Asian. You guys and like Lauren, go to Troy High, you're fine. You're literally fine. It's all you guys go to Troy. You guys are all like sheltered. Let's be real. You go to Troy High, you know math.
No, I
Okay?
don't. I'm
No,
not
you know
good.
math. No, compared to other kids who take this test.
I'm in regular.
The Hicks down south, okay? Like you're comparing yourself to them. Like this is a national test. There are a lot of not so bright people who take this. Compared to them, you are very smart. Okay, you guys ready to go over this?
Yeah.
All right. 31. Who can tell me the definition of all 3 of these words? Sid.
Adorning, does that mean like, I know it's a good word, like liking or whatever. Or adoring.
Yes. Yes.
And then accumulating means like piling on.
Mm-hmm.
Augmenting. I thought of augmented reality. I don't know.
Okay. Elaborating. What does that mean?
That means adding on, elaborating, or like making more like complete.
Okay. This one you kind of need to know the definition of. Who else wants to? How did you guys answer this question?
I would say
Why did you put C?
it just like sounds right.
Okay. Don't choose a word definition that you didn't know, thinking that that's right.
I know all the definitions. Yeah.
Okay. What is the definition of augmenting then?
It's like to add on, to make better, to add on to.
To
I like to make like, oh, this is incomplete. I got augmented with like, I don't know. Like, my test is not like my test score on this test is not that good. I got augmented with more studying. I don't know. I kind of know the
The definition of augmenting is to increase. Okay, I wanted to make sure that wasn't a definition that you just said, but it's not. I checked. So, it's definitely not what Kyle said. It means to increase. But he also said elaborating means to add on as well. So how do we differentiate between C and D now? Because that's what they're trying to do. Many cities are blank their public transportation systems by implementing bike share programs. So
Oh yeah.
It's like they already have the public transportation, so like.
So wouldn't it be augmented?
it what? Yes. Yes, the right answer is C. You could use most of you guys should know what A, B, and D. Everyone should know what A, B, and D mean. And using process elimination, you can almost always figure out it's C. And these are the types of questions there's no way you can study for. You're gonna have an affect versus effect question like this, but other than that, you're gonna have one other question where it's a weird definition. Most of the time, the ACT doesn't give you hard words. That's what the SAT used to do. Krishay, Venkat, you guys gotta stop talking. 32. Krishay, 32.
32 and
How?
patients do not have to be submitted for no. It's not. It doesn't have any
What about cities though?
Yeah, that also does not.
Good. F is the right answer. Nothing here is being possessed in G, H, and J. 33. You can Venkat do 33.
I got C.
Okay, how so?
Um, because there's a colon who's in an IC before.
Okay, if there's an IC before, break the sentence down completely. I want to know why A, B, C, and D are why three of the answers are wrong and one that's right. So explain it further. Come on. Let's help them out. Brianna.
So
Guys, it should not be the same person answering the question. Venkat, if you guys are going to talk, at least talk and know how to answer the question, okay? All right, Brianna, continue.
Well, it can't be A because programs vary. Programs are very based on things, unique conditions in an IC, and then one thing is consistent is also an IC, and bike share bikes often and whatever that is. That's also an IC. So IC comma IC is a splice, so then it can't be A. It can't be B because the comma is placed after the but instead of before. And then D, but one thing is consistent itself is not an IC. See, wait.
One thing is consistent. Is that an IC?
One thing is consistent is an IC.
Yes.
If you were to do but one thing is consistent, is that still consistent?
Remember, what rule are we using with the comma and the but?
It's
It's IC comma fanboy with an IC after that. So when we have, in this case, we don't look at the but even. We look at what comes after. We look at one thing is consistent.
so then D would also be a splice.
The D is not necessary. Which one?
The D still
Yeah.
is
Yes.
still
Yes.
a
Yes.
splice?
D is a splice. Yes.
So then one thing left is C.
Good. Another thing with C is in all three of these we have three ICs. The question is, how do we separate them where we don't have a run-on and where we don't have a comma splice? So as Brianna said, A gives us a comma splice. C, which other one? D gives us a comma splice as well. We're left with B and C. And Brianna, what's the difference? Why is B not right?
The comma's after but.
Good. So this is what we call a coordinating conjunction error. All right, so when we want to use a colon, anything can come after that. I want to make that explicitly clear. Anything can follow a colon. What comes before it, though, all you need is at least one IC. So if I have IC, this is basically what C is. It's IC, comma, fanboys. IC, colon, IC. That's how answer choice C is labeled. And that is okay, because anything can follow a colon. Make sense? All right, 34. What is our answer choice for this one? Yep, this one's relatively easy. It's A. We cannot use G because we need to follow parallelism. The only reason we would ever use G is if it was in a positive following aluminum, which if we explain what aluminum was, we can use a dash, but we're not doing that. Can't be J because we're separating subject from the verb. Our subject and verb are steel and is. If I take out the comma, my subject and verb are not as close together as possible, which that's going to be a problem. Can't be H because I don't have I'm not separating two ICs. My subject and verb are that far apart, so I need to separate them with two commas to make this stuff eliminated. And basically, they're now as close to each other as possible. Make sense, everyone? 35. Okay, what's the answer choice for this one? is okay. We have material, materials. That's what is that testing? Singular versus plural. Okay, first thing we need to do now is, what is it referring to? Steel. Steel, they're right. It's not, this is not like a compound subject where it's steel and aluminum. It's just steel. Steel, so how we read this question is, steel is the blank material for building sturdy bike frames. So it's material because, is it steel is or is it steel are? Steel is. Is it material is or material are? Okay, so it is, it's singular. That's why it cannot be C and D, because those two are the plural ones. What's preferably versus preferred? Lauren. Whoops, I just looked at you and said Lauren. Lauren. Actually, Brianna, you already started. Yeah,
Yeah, preferably is an adverb, then preferably.
good. No. What is preferred? No. Actually, in this case, yeah, it would be the. I was thinking of another example. Like I'm saying, like he preferred apple juice. Verb, yeah, but in this case, it is an adjective. Okay, and then preferably is adverb. So it's got to be D. Okay, 36. Lauren, why is it F, Lauren?
Because you look at necessity, and then the best story for necessity is essential, is when you're supposed to earlier.
Good, that was an easy one. 37. Lauren, do this one as well.
D.
Okay, how'd you get D?
And it's,
Break the sentence up completely for me.
yeah. So that's
Starts all the way up here, so let's start. In hilly cities, what is that? Good, why is it a preposition? Okay, Lauren, answer this one only, okay? Alright, so in, good. And in tells us, good.
And then you do, Renoir here is essential as a DC.
Good. And why is the DC?
Because it doesn't
Oh yeah, this is kind of, yeah, we know it's a DC.
Yeah.
Alright, next one. So so this one's a DC.
and then,
Alright,
sorry, and then lights are quick with it.
so I look at what's between the two commas. If it's not my IC, what can I do? I know it's now non-essential, so what do I do with non-essential stuff? Good. So, or internal is out. So how I read this is, bikes are equipped with enclosed hub gears. That is my IC. Okay. They protect the gears from weather related damage. What is that? Good. And what do we, or contact, is that my IC? Or contact, is that an IC? No, on your papers, can you tell that that's separated by 2 dashes? Okay. So what we do is we cross this out as well. So how I read this is, I don't even need my DC. Bikes are equipped with enclosed hub gears. They protect gears from weather-related damage. Okay, so I have 2 ICs back to back now. Separated with what? This isn't a run-on. What is this? Comma splice. Yes, this comma right here. So that is a comma splice because of that comma right there. So, Lauren, so I know A is a comma splice. Do I have any other comma splices?
C.
Good. So, A and C are automatically eliminated because comma splices.
And then you never use that wedge.
Good. Whenever you say which or that, it's the same thing. When you say that which is redundant. You guys should all write that down because that's an important one. Both of those mean the exact same thing. Alright. And then D is the only one that changes the last IC to DC. Alright, so your right answer is D. 38. You can do it. 38. Which one, however, indicates contrast? And for example, the right answer is for example, because they say
The only one.
what?
Never mind.
This one is just looking at transitions. So when you say painting all the bikes one color, for example, yeah, makes them. No, this one's not for example. Yes.
Wait, wouldn't you be, for example,
Give me a
because
sec.
before that they're talking about like
I gotta read this passage.
features, and then they're talking about the features.
38 is in fact G. It is for example.
Yeah, because it's talking about the features.
Okay, this one is this, for example, is referring to painting all the bikes one color because they're saying some bike features have been specifically chosen to prevent theft. So an example of that is painting all the bikes one color. So by putting, for example, at the end, it's just adding emphasis. All right, 39. It's non-standard. It's the most concise one. 40. Are there any answer choices I can automatically eliminate? Krisha, which answer choice can I eliminate?
FNG.
Good. Why?
Again, no, because it is DC, the next word, so it can't be.
Good, but without even looking at the question, without even looking at the passage itself, I can automatically eliminate F and G because I know a period and a semicolon are both used to separate two ICs. So a test writer cannot ask me to differentiate between a period and a semicolon because they mean the exact same thing. That's like asking someone to, like, it's like two of the same things basically. A test writer can't ask you to do that. H and J. Now what's the difference? So I have a colon. What should I look for that comes before it? IC. Do I have an IC before that? No, because it's my subordinator, so I do not have an IC. So with process of elimination, it's automatically H. And we know the comma rule that follows this is what? What comma rule tells me I need a comma here? Because it's
Oh, it's
DC, comma, IC, yes. Notice how for half this test, you don't even need to read the passage. You just need to look at the answer choice and you can figure this out. 41. Yes. This is, what do we think they're testing here? What? Not necessarily, nope. Yes, they are. Vague pronouns, yeah. Actually, I misspoke. They're testing vague pronouns, but also whenever you have the first word underlined when you have DC followed by IC, what should you also test for? This is a very important question. Yes, misplaced modifiers. These are the hard types of questions, guys. You should also be testing for a misplaced modifier. And what is keeping them dry? It's the bikes that are going to keep the rider's clothing clean and dry. So it is also a modification question. 42. Yeah, it's you already said it in the beginning that it's to keep them clean and dry. We don't need to say that again. 43. The best place to do this would be where? C. Yeah, splitting it right here would break up when we say the features and then the theft prevention. Or theft prevention and then features. C, yes. Because we go from saying like it's all painted one color and then the bike parts is saying about the practical part of it with the basket. Alright, 43. 44, my bad. 44, we learned this. Can I ever have such as with followed by a colon? No. So which answer choice can be crossed out automatically? F and J. Good. G and H. Alright, what's the difference between these two? Do I need a comma after such as when I introduce a list? No. I'm left with H. That's my answer. All right, 45. I heard C and D. Who said C? D. No one said C. Okay, so yeah, it is D. Bless you. So why is it D?
Talking about the car share.
Yeah. What was this whole passage about?
Bike share.
Bike share. So why are we talking about car share? We don't need to, so it's D. All right. For these types of questions, always read the yes, no, but also look at the explanation. There are a lot of times it's an explanation mismatch. They'll say yes, but they'll give you the right explanation or vice versa. All right, take another 5 minutes and go over to the next section.
No, they're inside the train. They're looking.
So,
Wait, so what do you have on?
52
Let me try one. I don't have the scale memorized. Right? It's
Going by one wrong is
it's not one wrong. No. It gets to the point where you can get 3, 4 wrong, and that'll give you the difference between the next point.
how about the people also
Sid, how you feeling now? Fine.
Studying ACT caution.
What?
I've done like 9 hours. That's like a lot better.
This good?
So
Yeah.
Sid, 10 wrong would be a 27.
Oh, I got 8.
Yeah. It's your app.
For 58.
If you three.
Sid, is it easier for you guys to like learn with the camera and like a blank version? Do you think so? Yeah, it's like hard. Okay. Like we get if it's darker, like I should be using a
Oh,
pen.
is that a camera?
Yeah.
You got that too.
It's hard to still see though. That's the thing. I gotta mess around with the settings.
It's easy.
Yeah, but far away it's like whitewashed.
Wait, it's easier for you too.
Yeah. No, it's definitely. It's not. No, it's not easy for me because I gotta write now. I don't want to write.
Right, but then like it's harder to control.
When yeah, but I have all explanations already written out.
I got
What?
And do the paper thing.
Wait, just show your explanations.
I can't show question, but we look at the question like we look at the answer choices itself though,
On the other
and like I write the explanations right next to the answer choices.
Then you should.
overall.
Should've.
It's like a. Instead.
Who's book smart? Me?
Hey,
I'm not book smart at all.
just does better.
I'm stupid in both.
And why is it?
What? Yeah, but that's a try higher.
Full point.
There shouldn't be anything.
No, I'm just.
It should just be 8.
I think you guys realize you don't need to be smart to do good on this test. You just need to practice.
48.
Yeah, but you have to use
Yeah.
one.
No, but everyone that
Math.
was
Math. Oh no. How do you do math?
Math is easy to say.
Math is
You
something
can't
that
learn
And it's also the
you
same
can.
taking
You can. There are a
place.
lot of repetitive questions that come up. We'll learn about half the test. The other half you gotta
This
know.
is for like rules.
What?
Are we gonna do math diagnostic? Like, you know how we do English ones and like.
We're gonna just do hard questions in math. We're not gonna teach you how to do like x plus 4 equals 6. You guys should know how to do that.
So like the word
What? That's what we're gonna show you. There are a few questions that show up on almost every single test, and those are the ones we're gonna do.
Dude, why are you writing it out?
The angles is confusing.
The angles, the angle ones, the area of a circle question.
The area is like 1/6, and then we have to like.
Sometimes you get questions where it gives you the angle of the circle, and it tells you what is the area now.
Okay.
So we're gonna learn how to do questions like that.
Sorry, on that one.
Don't you just use like
America's a beautiful.
Rating.
Wait.
Oh, actually, I'll give you right home. I'll give you right home if it is.
Circle.
Yeah, I'll take it. Don't worry
Oh
about it.
yeah. We have to use the equation.
It doesn't mean
I don't think
Trains don't have eyes, man.
No, when the
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like,
There's no way you're not gonna take it. I'm like, you're smart.
It's
She's like,
like,
maybe she's like, oh,
makes
we
it-
went to Disney together. I'm like,
makes it-
she's like, oh, should I go
48.
to another or should I study? I'm like, come to Disney if you want to come.
ineffective.
And then like,
But why
she ended up like getting she was stuck.
And
And like for me, like anything is different.
Why didn't you switch
Now,
I didn't make the
Effect is
test.
Like, don't do it on the.
effect is a verb.
Oh,
Wait. Effect is a verb.
That's also.
Yeah.
I like mine's like it's like you don't study for it. Me and Claire did well, she got 50. Me and Rohit. Me and Rohit tied. 4. We both got 4. Yeah. I know. This is
Orange. I talked. Remember that day I was in the watching your video?
and for that. You know how nervous I was?
I got you in though.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I
What
talked to
happened?
I talked to
I
Vikas.
bring diversity.
I any white person brings diversity. No,
It's
but
my event that I wanted to do. I legitimately enjoy doing it.
Which one?
For photography, I give a speech and I write. Like at the end, I get to make like connections and not feel like I'm like a good kid because I'm like interested in it as a teenager.
and you're white. That too.
That too.
That helped. Don't forget that.
Stop. I actually worked. I worked really.
Yeah, I'm sure
I
that-
wanted it so bad.
Get first. I'm sure you'll get first next year.
I want to. No, I have a close friend.
Who?
He goes to IA.
Yeah, I know.
He goes to where?
I know I do.
No, he's such a sport.
Yeah.
He was a baker and he went to goes to IA. And he's really nice. I like.
He's a rich. Ask you out.
Okay,
What's his name? Vern what? Vern, what's his last name?
He's such a nice kid. But like, he like posts on Instagram after states. He didn't even make top 10. He's like gonna get first in states next year. It's like, shut up. Okay, sorry. It makes me so mad. So like, we're like against each other. So like, that's all I care about beating.
All right, you should be in next year. Okay, guys, let's get back to this now. Come on.
But how did you get mad?
What?
How did you?
Don't.
No, say it.
No, we'll talk about it after. All right, 46. What is it? Chris, I got 40. Yeah, it's J.
46 is J.
It's the most concise one. All right, Venkia, how'd you get D?
Because A and B are contrasting, and then overall it's like a
Good. Right answer is D. All right. Notice how he did that. Bless you. Instead and on the other hand are almost analogous. So A and B can be eliminated. 48. Yes. Yep, it's the most concise answer.
Well, I have a question on that.
Yes.
How would you like choose between F and G?
F and J. All right, let's read it. So we can cross out instead. A 2-day ride ended in Chicago, where the World Columbian Exposition. Let's take it. In fact, okay, those are the exact same thing, but what you're gonna look at is the style of the author. It was in effect is a very formal way to say was taking place. Look at the tone of this passage. It's not like it's a narrative. It's talking about it's saying the story of Bates. It's nothing like formal. So that's why we're gonna choose F. You are right. F and J are basically the same. Okay, 49. Guys, let's change it up. I hear Venkat and Brianna basically saying all the answers. Manvita. 49.
Because the other one make it look like it's the train's moving, like the train's doing things, but it's not.
Yes. By saying, so we're going to cross out A and B because the train can't see itself.
And then it's not D because it's not like looking at the train, it's like looking behind the train.
Good. We're not, yep, perfect. The view of the train says that we're looking at the train. View from it means that we're looking outside the train windows. 50. Yes, why? Good. Because it's a subordinator, once we take that out, we have the expanse of ripening grain under ample size gave way. What is my subject and verb now? What's my subject and verb? Rohit, what's my subject and verb in this sentence? In 50.
So
Mark.
we cross out in Colorado.
Good.
What is the expense of ripening grain? Is grain the subject?
No.
Oh wait, that's of. So that's a preposition.
Perfect. Okay, so of ripening grain is a prepositional phrase. Next, under ample skies. What is under?
That's a preposition.
Good, that tells us location, so that's a preposition. Under ample skies is gone. So now I'm left with the expanse and gave way to the spectacle.
So expanse is the subject.
Good.
And then gave is the verb.
Perfect. All right.
What about the type?
Well, I crossed that out because that was a subordinator, and that's the only way J would be right because that gives us an IC now. All right, 51. And again, guys, remember all my annotations are online. If you guys want to, if you were confused ever in class, go home, pull them up on your computer, and read them. 51. Good. Do we ever put a comma before a preposition? No. So C and D are out. We're left with A and B. Is there any reason to put a comma after poem? No. Okay, you always need one of those 5 reasons to put a comma. So it is, we're left with B. 52. Yes. Readers, that the dramatic setting that inspired her. Well, that's the setting. Sid, does that make sense? Remember you had a question about setting previously? It's setting tells us location. She's standing atop Pikes Peak. 53. Good. Concise. Notice this is like the 5th concise question we've had. 54. Who said G and who said H? Okay. I thought I heard someone say H. Alright, yes, the right answer is this. Memorize this form. IC, semicolon. However, comma, IC. Use this in English class. This is a good sentence to use. Whenever you do this, you have IC. This is acting as non-essential information. So basically, it's an IC and semicolon IC. But we have non-essential information, which is however. Okay. And does everyone get that these are 2 ICs? She is our subject, wrote is our verb, she was our subject, was is our verb again. So we have 2 ICs back to back. What is F as it is right now? So what? Run on, yes. When you have however and separate with 2 commas, we eliminate that. When you eliminate, you have 2 ICs back to back. All right, what is wrong with? Well, J's a run on as well. H doesn't use a comma and a fanboy to separate it. So what is that? Comma splice. All right, we're left with 55. We can do this one. Yes. When you say set versus sat, it changes the meaning of it. So when I say I sat it aside, that's like I'm literally putting the book and like setting it sideways. That's not what she did. This is figurative when you say I just set it aside. That means you tossed it aside and forgot about it. Does that make sense? All right, 56. Why'd you guys choose H? Lauren, 56. Can you do it?
I got H.
2 years later, is that an IC?
No.
So can I cross that out? Okay. Lauren, what are we left with? When she found her notes from the Colorado trip.
That, that's a DC, but when we change it to an IC, we just change it to she.
Good. So what is when then?
Subordinate.
Good. Subordinator. And when I don't know how to spell stuff, you guys will notice I'll just scribble. Which I have no idea how to spell subordinator, so you guys get the point. Okay, so this gives us our she, which is our subject right away, and we take out the subordinator. Good. 57. What'd you get? B. Okay, this is a hard question. Who got anything else?
C.
C. Yes, this is what we call an idiom. Ever the perfectionist. It's just a figure of speech. There's no grammatical reasoning for why this is correct, why it's incorrect. That's it.
But like, who is referring to the idiots?
Okay, I didn't even read that. This one should be. Okay, no, this one is acting as an appositive, defining Bates. You don't want to. You go along with, again, the flow of the passage. It's describing Bates, and you say ever the perfectionist, basically. We're gonna come back to this one. All right, let's go on. We're gonna at the end of class. I'll figure it out by then. 58. How did you get H?
She wouldn't read. Like it says she's revising her home, like it's like reading.
Good. So F is saying revise. G is saying rethink. J is saying generate new. We don't want to reread her favorite parts. 59. Okay. Yes. 56. All right, then, Kid, why is it up?
Cause, well, if you read the last sentence of paragraph 4, it says, she was not pleased with the first attempt to set it aside, and then paragraph 5 talks about how she found it pleased.
Okay. Good. Also, let me find it real quick. It's basically it's the view she saw in paragraph 3. That's when she wrote her thing after it, while standing atop Pikes Peak. Once she saw the view, then she started writing her poem. So 4 belongs where it is. Take another 5 minutes, go over the last passage. I'll figure out 58, 57 for you guys.
I forgot what I put.
That's okay. Cal, just use the bathroom down here, buddy. Why do you keep on going upstairs? First door on the left. Sid, Lauren, guys, come on, work and talk at least, okay? Okay. Talk about past.
That's not I see them.
So if your account is referring
I got 6
to you would take 6 because
Why is this one correct? Oh, because we don't like the T.
What you get for 61? I got no.
I want to go 25.
Then C gets 33 C.
62 F.
I don't know.
62 F.
That's
62 F.
similarly
63
It makes sense.
66. I got 65 A.
I talked to Vita.
Stop.
What you get for
As
65?
what? I was in the room.
Who's the host of
Like,
that?
No, listen, why?
that was the first time I met you. You were a nice person, so I said you should get her in.
I think you're just. I think you're just in this right now.
I asked Vita. I was in the room while you were presenting.
Yeah, because you stood outside and psyched me out. And then you walked in. I was like, what is this kid doing?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that was the very people don't give. Wait, but no,
C9, C.
Abby talked to me. Because I was
I
at
got C.
yearbook camp with Abby. I was really fine because I hated it so much.
I mean, what you get
Yearbook
for
camp. And then she's like, no, you know what you gotta do? You gotta do
yeah,
this.
that's
And
Okay.
then Abby's like, I got
No.
you.
While they were discussing, I offered more input. I was like, she was really confident while she was speaking. They
I
literally
was confident my hands were shaking.
they literally discussed it in front of you, and I was a part of that discussion.
Was you gonna say no?
Definitely not. You presented well.
I was so scared. You guys scared me until like halfway through the year.
That's good.
He's scared.
He's not scary.
Yes, he's so intimidating. In Mount in
You know who's scary?
when you come on.
No, Richard.
Did you 10?
Richard, I love Richard. For 69 so Richard, are you serious? He's my best friend. But I know it's wrong. So I think with A, B, I think it's like kind of B. I guess it's like but eliminated. There's no subject. So yeah, that's
Hey, how many of you guys are in 11th grade? Going into 11th grade? Make sure you do something useful this summer. Okay? Don't be lazy asses and just sit around. Do something useful. In 1 week, I want you guys to email me what you're doing this summer. Alright? Remember, the point of this class is not just basically to get you into whatever college you want to. And the only way that's going to happen is to do something interesting or cool this summer. Go volunteer all summer. Go do
Where do we
something.
Where do we get NHS hours?
Don't worry about NHS hours. I hate when people say that they're just looking for NHS hours.
Where do we get volunteer experience?
Okay, volunteering. Now that's a different question.
That's the same thing.
No. Don't do stuff for NHS hours versus
Yeah, go
yeah.
to group of leaders.
Go to Gleaners or something else to do. Summer in the city, Beaumont, the VA.
That's my dad.
Really?
There you go. That's how you basically do it. You talk around, ask people for their parents, what their parents do. Like you should know what all
I'm
your
gonna do
friends
photography for his dad next year.
do. It. Yeah, that's good. Like you guys should get good at like building your professional network and like knowing who to ask for stuff. And like to be honest, that's the only way you
That's
get
like
anything.
that. No, don't. You're gonna go against someone that got.
No, but Lauren, he said that. Talk to his dad right away now.
Yeah,
Because
listen, I don't have time.
you gotta make time, okay?
Yeah, and I have to quit volleyball.
Like you don't need to quit
Yeah, because I'm on e-board for school. And
Oh, really?
yeah.
Because guys, remember, you gotta write essays. So you need summers are where you gain your experience to write an essay. Okay. Everyone who's done stuff, they talk about like what? No.
You still added to that, too.
Well, yeah, you can get help and like talk to people about it, but like you should write about experiences that like you want to do, because that's the easiest way to write a good essay. Half the people there who did the Siemens competition from Troy, I wrote about that in their essay. Almost every single one for college.
I believe
Wait, after the email, what we're doing.
All right, yes. All right, 61. Let's get started now.
Wait, is it the emails or the phone?
Everyone, then, Kate, you should be doing something useful as well. All right, 61. Who can do this one? That's Jason. Jason prepared for pilot. Come on. All right, C. How'd you get C?
Well, because it's like the definition of vocal learning.
Okay, and what do we call that when we define something after it? What? Who said it? Yes. This is the definition of an appositive. The ability to remember and reproduce sounds after hearing them. That is an appositive. Because it is directly defining vocal learning. Alright, so Venkat, you got what, C? Yep, that is the right answer. So, basically we're separating the two appositives, which is, so how you should read the sentence is, scientists distinguish vocal learning from auditory learning. That's the end of the sentence right there. The rest is non-essential information. 62, Manvita, I want you to do this one.
I got F. And dogs do, of course, vocalize is,
What is of course? What is of? Good. So this is a prepositional phrase. We can cross that out, right? Dogs do vocalize. What is that? Good. What is my subject in that? Whoever's whispering, stop. Manvita's gonna answer this question. What is my verb in it? Good. Dogs do vocalize. That is a IC. They bark. Is that an IC? Okay, what is my subject in that? What is my verb? Okay, so what are we left with? What is good? You said it was F, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we get why that's not right?
Yeah.
All right, now let's see. We're left with G, H, and J. Okay, let's go with the easiest one, H. So we have a comma between dogs and do. Is that allowed? Why not? Good. So H is out. All right. Now let's go to J. Dogs do. Remember when we have two commas and it's not or IC, we can cross it right out. So cross out of course. But that's the same thing as what this is different now. Dogs do vocalize. They bark. We have no comma there after that now. So what is that called? Good. Perfect. G we have a colon here. What do we need to check for? IC before. Is dogs do vocalize an IC? Yeah, so we have IC colon IC. And that's allowed because anything can come after an IC. Kritik, I want you to do 63. D? B is, okay. And why'd you say B?
So when you say a dog doesn't answer for it, then we say we say Arborn. Okay, I thought it was dogs. Learn to bark. And I think C and D are one in each of the.
Good. That R tells us it is plural. We need a plural noun or subject, which is dogs. Hence, it is B. This is subject-verb agreement, SV agreement. All right, 64. Also, for 63, you don't say one or you. We're not changing the perspective of the passage. 64. Let's see, I didn't. Yes, F. Okay, and another thing. whenever you have, this is acting as an appositive as well. When you have, and remember, you do not separate the, if you are not using a comma, you don't separate the appositive from the noun it's describing. In this case, it's the two parentheses that's acting as the appositive, and that's describing sedicans. So we do not do H and J. We're left with F and G. Yes, good. And we're left with F. All right, 65. How'd you get D, Venkat? We can do this one, Mandita.
Similarities though, that counts is singular. Subjects would be similarities that count.
Okay, good. What do we call this? What type of agreement is this? Not subject verb.
It's noun.
Noun what?
Noun.
Good. Noun verb agreement. All right. That's why we are left with D as our answer. All right. Remember, whenever you want to do agreement, he, they is our test. That tells you the answer right away. 66. So we vertically analyze the question. We have few versus little, and then we have apostrophes. So they're testing possession, and if you know the definition between few and little. So, what is the answer? G, why? When do we use few? Yes, when it can be counted. Stuff that can be quantified, we use few. So we use G. And nothing is being possessed, right? Good, so it is G. 67. Yes, we don't really care for this information. It's not helping the flow of the passage. It's not adding anything useful to it. 68. Good. Why is this? What? Yeah, that too, and also, what is prior of? What's wrong with that? Now, what do we call that? Idiom. Good. 69.
C.
How'd you get C, Cal? Just Cal answered this question, no one else.
Ace seems really weird, but all the comments.
No. Start over. No shit, it's weird because it's the wrong answer. So, give me the right explanation for this. Amitesh, help him out.
D was like most concise and do like if you do like a meaning of what like they meant to say.
Okay. Amitesh, do you have an alternate explanation for this one? Any?
You can eliminate D because in the comma before but, so you can eliminate D.
Okay. Kritika. Actually, Rohit, help her out. Him out. It's a very easy question, guys. You didn't get to it. Well, you guys had time to go over all the questions, though. I give you plenty of time. I give you at least 10 minutes.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Anyone know this question? Brianna.
The first, if you were to choose A, it would be a splice because it's an IC, comma IC. B, I can't really think. I think it'd still be a splice, because it's still an IC. D, if we were to start the sentence with but, okay, wouldn't that still be a DC? So you have IC, so you don't have DC. You can't do that. So that's C.
Yes, but you're saying for C, remember, when you have but here, this isn't a DC, that's still an IC after it.
No, I'll set that for D.
D, okay,
Since
good,
it's the right
good, yeah. Okay, good. So, perfect, she said A and B comma splices, D, you cannot have but, that starts a DC. C is the only one that correctly uses a coordinating conjunction to connect two ICs. So, how we do this sentence is, vocal learning was once a common ability. It was eliminated in most species. So, vocal learning is our subject, was is our verb. It is our subject, was is our verb for this one. So I have two SVs back to back with separated just by a comma. That is, in itself, the definition of a comma splice. When I have B, I was taught that whenever you have two commas, you can eliminate everything that's in between. So B would become a run-on sentence. It doesn't matter. You know, though, you cannot use two commas and I have two ICs on either side. Regardless, B is wrong. C is the only right answer. That's it. All right, 70. What is 70? Yes. What is because? No, what is because? Good. 71. How'd you get C, Venkat?
Because one about other, like I read that sentence, it says as in the case of words and
Yes. You want to do the most consistent with other types of information provided within the sentence. So, we just do C. And it says right here, as in the case of birds. So, we're going to choose C because it's like, yeah, parallelism. All right, 72. All right, this is testing transitions. So, who can do this one? It is G. How'd you get G?
because aren't F, H, and J kind of like the same?
Not necessarily the same thing. I can see how you would choose the odd one now and choose G.
But wouldn't you also do it?
Not yes, but what are we contrasting with? Appreciate with what?
Independent and group.
Read the passage again.
Wouldn't it be Indian and Indian?
Let's finish it up. Let's finish the test off first. 73. What is that? Yeah. That one we don't even need to go over. 74. What are we possessing? What are we possessing? Anything?
Yeah.
Good. And it's what? Plural possessive. G. All right. 75. Not B. Did anyone get anything else? A. Why is it A?
A is the one that talks about
Yes. Also, who can tell me the definition of innate?
Isn't that like a thing that's possessed?
Yes, it's something that is genetically possessed that you don't need to learn it. All right. Let's see 73.